Okay. So
Okay, well,
I'll
so I
do,
can go
sorry,
ahead.
Kareem, I'm going to do a brief introduction first.
Introduction.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just getting my screens going. So hello, J.MAK students, and welcome to summer school. We are continuing our exploration of exotic destinations today with two partners, Alizes Private, with Kareem, who will be going first, and then Adventures Africa, Gary's going to share that presentation. For those that don't know me, I am Meg Crosby, hospitality personality at J.MAK based in Raleigh, North Carolina. You can always reach out to me and our team at hi@jmak.com for any questions about any of our partners. And always be sure to check out jmak.com for the most up-to-date information. Today, after our presentation, we will open the floor for a brief Q&A session. However, we encourage you to reach out to any of our partners via email using their JMAK@ email address found on their partner page on jmak.com. Finally, we'll be taking a bit of a break until July 18th and 19th. I'll be on the road in Chicago before then, and headed to St. Louis and Denver if any folks are in those areas for some road shows. But we'll resume July 18th and 19th with our Beach Please theme, highlighting some sunny destinations. So thank you all for your continued support and joining. And without further ado, take it away, Gary. Or excuse me, Kareem, you're going first. My bad. Take it away, Kareem.
No problem.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone, and a warm greetings from Marrakesh, Morocco, where it's really, really hot right now, but very dry, though, so it's acceptable. So I will go through my presentation, who I am. Well, basically, I have a 23-year background in the luxury hospitality, where I was really lucky to be part of amazing openings like Emirates Palace Abu Dhabi in the UAE and Royal Mansour Marrakesh, the King's Hotel. And in 2017, I decided to open my own on-site DMC. The idea was really not to be a DMC between the DMCs, but after a very deep review of the markets, I realized that they do very well what they are doing. I wanted to be different by focusing on emotional experiences. The idea was, in my head, travel is not about flying business and sleeping in a suite, but more of how I can touch the heart of the client throughout the day, throughout their stay, by offering emotional experiences that match their personality and match their interest, basically. So these experiences can be emotional, sensory, insightful, relational, or a holistic combination of all. This is the team, small team. We don't want to be big because simply we strongly believe that luxury is attention to details, is going the extra mile, and definitely handling 100 files a month won't be the right solution for us. So we rather concentrate. So we have a great small team. And how we work? Well, basically, we receive an email, we acknowledge the email, and we straight away either request a Zoom conf call with you to understand more in details the client's interests. Otherwise, if you share with us most of the informations and elements, we start working on a tailor-made program. We send it to you. It's funny because I like this sentence here. You want to send us your client's feedback, and my answer to you is, sorry, we are not interested. It sounds crazy. You know why? Because I don't believe that I would be a good on-site DMC if I wait for your clients to return back home to only then find out that they were happy or no. My goal is to make sure they are happy while they are with me. Because what's the point when they are back to New York to hear that everything was great, but you know, the driver was not that good, or the guide, or the room, or whatever. My goal, our goal at Alizes Private is to fix the problem. If there is a problem, to fix it immediately and solve it and make the clients happy and move on.
Kareem, can you just make sure that your presentation is following? Because I just see the first picture.
Oh, sorry.
Emotional travel experience with Alizes Private.
So maybe it's a Wi-Fi problem, because that's strange. It's a Wi-Fi problem probably. So can you see now which page you have now?
It's still that first, just the first slide.
Oh, really? Oh. No. Okay.
Or maybe you can no.
Close it and start it again.
Let's try that.
Okay. Start again. Partager. Sorry. Can you see it now?
Yep, I can see your team. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's I would keep it like this. So that's
Perfect.
the team.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. And then there was this slide where I mentioned about the feedback of the clients. And finally, we are here. So how we operate, how do we know that your client is happy on a daily basis? And in case there is any concern, how can we know about it and how do we react? So the first thing we do is we create 2 WhatsApp groups. The first one is with you, the agent, myself, the luxury travel manager at the office, the operation manager, and the guide. The reason behind it is we can see every day's picture taken by the guide and all the comments, like the feedback, the daily feedback made by the guide as well. And you and we feel comfortable about it. We also share with you the flight tracker in and out, so you can see exactly where the clients are. And at the end of the trip, we print the best picture. We ask you to send us a personal note. We frame the picture, we sign on your behalf, and then we offer the frame with the picture to the clients. Now, what we do is we create a second WhatsApp group, just myself, the client, and you, the agent. And this is the WhatsApp where he can share, let's say with Meg, if you were the agent, and me, hey guys, I have a concern. I'm not happy with the transportation or the guide. Can you do something? If he send it to you, Meg, you're gonna send it to me anyway. So save time, take action. I see it same time as him because we are both in Morocco. There is no time difference, and I can take action immediately. All the clients love the idea, and they straight away say, yes, please create the WhatsApp group. Then
I love that, Kareem, too, because you keep the advisor involved, right? Which I think is a key differentiator from perhaps other DMCs. Instead of via email, you're just constantly there seeing and experiencing with the client. It's great.
Yeah, because on the first year, we didn't have this WhatsApp group, but what we noticed is the agent sending us a WhatsApp or an email saying, oh, the client just reached out to me and he said he would like more Coke Zero in his minibar. Come on. This is crazy. So if he puts it in the WhatsApp group and say, oh, I want more Coke Zero in my minibar, I just do it. I just take action. I just contact the hotel and say, please send someone from the room service and fill his minibar. So, and time difference again. I mean, it's with New York, it's 5 hours. With the East Coast, it's with the West Coast is 9 hours. Till the time you let me know, the problem is all over and it's too late. The next slide shows the 6 essentials in your Moroccan bag. This is a very nice concept we launched, well, almost from the beginning, but we upgrade it as much as we can, where we offer the clients a beautiful Moroccan tote bag, as well as for ladies, a Moroccan handicraft bag, a wow book. What is a wow book? A wow book is my own creation. It's basically a travel book where you have all the nitty gritty, the key safety advice, the restaurants and shopping recommendation, and it is a travel book. So it comes with a pencil, and we offer as well a beautiful perfume valued at $70 for ladies. And we offer for each member of the family an inox cooler bottle. The idea behind it is we used plastic mineral water in the cars. Now we stopped it. What we asked is the client to use his cooler bottle, fill it when he is in his room, and then in the car, we do have a fridge. We have big bottles that the guide can fill for you. So we don't use anymore the small bottle of water, only a big one that we fill with it throughout the day, the client's cooler bottle. Also, I would like to mention that any bookings coming via the J.MAK address will benefit, in addition to all this, a 15% commission. Basically, we give 10, but for any booking via J.MAK, we do it at 15%. So also something very important, when we launched the project, I traveled across the country. The idea was to identify and find what I call key insiders. Key insiders are, for me, people, God-gifted people who can, offer a unique experience through their personality or just through their art, through their, unique access to, unique places that no one can access. And we managed, thank God, to establish a very nice portfolio. And these are some of them. Now, of course, we cover all type of ground services, from VIP meet and greet at the airport, both ways. The arrival, we usually suggest just without the VIP lounge. Why? Because the clients don't really need it. He come out from the plane, we take him through the immigration, through the luggage process, and then he can leave the airport. But on the way back, we suggest always to include the lounge so he can relax there, work or whatever. And then, of course, we take care of all type of private transfers, transportation with master drivers. All transportation are with Wi-Fi, mineral water, dry fruits, and charger for either iPhone or any kind of smartphone. We take care of your hotel bookings. We would love to take care of your hotel bookings. Why? Because we simply offer you the same rate as if you book directly. So you still get your 10% commission as if you book through the GDS. We offer you Virtuoso amenities if you are part of Virtuoso, as well as we offer a candle, a perfume candle for home, also valued at $80 that we offer. So, and again, more than this, what you get is my expertise of 23 years in the hospitality background. You might know the GM and the DOSM. I know the cook and the housekeeper. Believe me, it's more important. So basically, yes, we look after all the ground services. Now, emotional experiences. What is emotional experiences? Don't worry. We only make your clients cry, but of happiness, of course. So there is no issue with that, I'm sure. And let's start with this one. So this is an amazing scenography we designed where we are truly the only on-site DMC worldwide to offer this kind of flight. It's a private flight with seated gourmet Michelin breakfast on board, served by your butler, a saxophonist or violinist on board performing live, as well as a photographer with drone. So this is quite unique and you won't find it anywhere in the world. It is followed by an amazing Arabian thoroughbred private show in the rocky deserts of Agafay, and it ends with a lovely 1001 night dinner with a full ceremonial of folklore, dance, and fire eater and stargazing. My next slide is basically a brand new hotel opening, well, basically today, if I'm not mistaken, today, La Fiermontina Ocean, also part of the J.MAK family. I was lucky to be the first client staying there a few weeks back with my wife, and it's absolutely stunning. It's unbelievable. It's between basically the Asila and Larache. So it's 58 kilometers, about 30 miles from Tangier. We needed a product in the north of Morocco because we didn't have any good quality hotel. So it's 12 private suites, each one with a private pool, all overlooking the ocean. It's really something out of this world. Then the Hassan II Mosque in Casablanca. Well, everybody can sell Hassan II Mosque. What we do is we did a step ahead and we have a unique experience where we take your clients on the rooftop of the minaret. And that's, no one is able to do that. So that's something quite unique. And you have your own curator who take your client through the whole process. A local connection. We love local connection because this is the best way to really understand Morocco, to really dive in and have an insight experience. And you go through the typical Moroccan ceremonial of hospitality. Parcours d'Eden. I was lucky to work in South Africa sometimes back, and I loved the wine road. So I designed the first wine road in Morocco, where you go across the 5 vineyards of the country to end up in this beautiful castle with 13 suites, 1 hour from Fes, between Fes and Meknes, where it's basically the biggest vineyard of the country. And we have designed our own wine and food pairing through the 4 hours. Instagram expedition. This experience, I did it just to make my daughters kind of upset, because they gave me a headache saying that I'm very old-fashioned and I'm very bad into Instagram. And what I did, I designed this experience, and believe me, it's amazing, because you have the #1 biggest worldwide photographer who makes worldwide celebrities. I'm sure you can recognize the faces of these people, and he can do a portrait for your clients. So this is a very high-end Instagram experience. We do have the normal one where we just send a photographer half day or full day with your clients, and he will paparazzi them throughout their day out. Private shopping. The deserts our way. There are 2 deserts in Morocco, one called Merzouga and one called Mohammed El Ghizlan. We prefer the second one simply because, as you can see, each tent is separated from the others, and you have your own privacy because you are surrounded with dunes and you have your own butter at your disposal. Whereby the other camp, the other desert, Merzouga, between 2 camps, there is a camp. And in each camp, you have all tents linked each one to the other. And basically when you sneeze, everybody say, bless you. We had cases where agents says, our client, they love adventure, but the real adventure, and they are very sporty people. So what we did, we had an exclusive contract with the World Desert Marathon Champion for the last 15 years, and he will go with your clients half day or full day, trekking, walking, and camel riding in the deserts. That's for you, Gary. A great experience as well is to discover Marrakesh and its surroundings with a Second World War sidecar. It's a lot of fun. It's really nice. That's the famous hot air balloon again. The full 1001 Nights experience. That's me, basically. You won't recognize me, but that's me. When I was the GM of Selman Palace, that was designed by Jacques Garcia, who did La Mamounia and the Pierre in New York, as well as the Coste in Paris. And I launched the first breakfast or lunch with Arabian thoroughbred private show. And this is really, really nice experience. Now we also do it inside the stables as a dinner between the horses. We also have amazing scenography with a storytelling concept. Oh, the hammam like our ancestor. Again, this is absolutely an amazing and stunning experience. In every riad, in every hotel, you will definitely find a spa, and each one will sell the hammam and massage. What we sell is our own experience, our own scenography, how my grandmother used to do the hammam 100 years ago. And this is absolutely unique because the clients will start with a 30-minute steam bath hammam. Then they will have a massage, 1 hour relaxing massage. Then we offer them beautiful Moroccan dress, as you can see, and we buy out basically the spa. So they have this relaxing Moroccan ceremonial and setup with fruit, dry fruit, pastry, tea man making fresh mint tea, and an Andalusian musician performing live for them while they relax for about 30 minutes. Yves Saint Laurent just for you. This is also a great experience. Of course, we can do the normal visit of Majorelle Garden and Yves Saint Laurent and Berber Museum. What we also have is the private visit of Yves Saint Laurent house with the curator. Street food expedition, that's also something very much appreciated by clients in general. We avoid it in the heat during the summer season. The Berber cooking class, we start promoting much more the Berber cooking class when the clients go to the High Atlas mountain and enjoy 1 hour hiking in the mountain. We do have mules that follows the client in case he feels tired or she feels tired. And then they come to this Berber village and meet this Berber family and organize with the wife a Berber cooking. They eat it, they enjoyed it. You can see here on the terrace, surrounded by the mountains. This is the Moroccan or Jewish cooking class in the city of Marrakesh or Fez. Again, a new discovery with Alizes Privates is we discovered a few weeks back on our trip to the north of Morocco, Umberto Pasti's house in Tangier. This is a stunning house, a beautiful project of this Italian couple who lives in Tangier since 35 years. And they have absolutely a stunning garden for garden lovers. I'm sure they will really enjoy it. And we can also organize a lunch in the house of Umberto Pasti. A charming day at Walidia, where we organize a picnic overlooking the sea. Old But Gold, this is a friend of mine who owns the one and only vintage car museum, and he allowed me to rent his cars for my clients. So again, discovering Marrakesh and the Palm Grove on a vintage car, it's a great experience. The House Fallen from the Sky. This is again an amazing concept in the Palm Grove of a French artist who built an upside down house. And we sell a lot this experience with the sidecar for families with kids. They really love it. He also have a second house nearby this one called the Giant House. The Giant House is a house he built with his 6-year-old daughter vision, how she sees things on a scale of a 6-year-old girl. So basically, this house is huge, is giant, and we follow with the giant lunch. So believe me, each French fries is enough to make you full for one day. For those who love gardens, we suggest a discovery of 4 gardens in Marrakesh. And finally, pack for hope. Pack your luggage for the hope of these kids. We are very proud to say that we launched this project where we built a kindergarten in the High Atlas Mountain. And today we have about 30 kids, 15 in the morning, 15 in the afternoon. Please note that kids in the Atlas Mountain, in the mountains, start school only at 6 years old versus in the city where they start at 3 to go to the kindergarten. So we decided to build this kindergarten and have these kids get some kind of education with their teacher at least half day per day. And we ask for your clients' contribution and generosity. What we ask for is a lot of money. It's only $50 per stay. So usually the clients are very generous and they help us in that. And that's it. That's Alizes Private. Thank you very much. And I look forward to any question that I might hear at the end after Gary's presentation. Thank you.
Thanks, Kareem. Thank you so much. Like Kareem said, we'll do the Q&A session at the end, so feel free to post them in there while we're waiting. But then now we are going on to the rest of Africa, if you will. Gary, you want to take it away?
Will do. Thank you, Meg. And thanks everyone for attending. Kareem, thanks for a great insight into Morocco. I don't know about everyone else, but I'm ready and come for a visit. So looks amazing. Looks amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so my name is Gary Nickel. The Director for Adventures Africa, and I'm going to kind of give you a quick overview of what we do and how we operate and some of the destinations that we focus on in both Southern and East Africa. So a little bit about me, being in the travel industry, like Kareem, since way back when, so about 1990, I think I started. Stumbled into travel while I was looking for a quote unquote real job and still going strong there. So I've always worked exclusively in the ski, safari, or adventure travel space. Personally, being to virtually all the African countries that we have in our portfolio. So I've been focused on Africa for a few years now, but it's become a huge passion. And I think I've been over there about 15 times and counting now, and just love all aspects of it, from the wildlife to the people to the culture, the scenery. And as a result, I've become an avid wildlife photographer. So caught the bug, and it's become a hobby. The company itself, how did we start? So it was started and founded in 2012 by our owner, Rick Reichsfeld, who some of you may know from Alpine Adventures. So we have a global ski travel brand behind us. And after a life-changing trip over there in 2012, Rick started the company to complement that ski brand. And coming out of that, we've selected dedicated partners that we work with on the ground over there. We look to work with smaller, more intimate properties, typically in a luxury scale, although we do cater to all budgets. And those partners with an eye towards conservation and a community ethos where they're trying to uplift and enhance the communities and the local staff around them. And we've also built an experienced and attentive team on this side to help you and your clients make those arrangements for a wonderful vacation in Africa. So our specialties as a company, we're still small and nimble, growing quickly, but we focus really on all custom curated itineraries. We will have kind of a stock list of sample itineraries by country or multiple countries that we can tap into, but then everything is done on a curated basis. So we'll dial in the trip exactly for what your client is looking for, number of nights, the budget, what inclusions they want, what specialties they want to focus on, and dial everything in according to that. We're Southern and East Africa specialists, so we work with all the primary safari destinations in South Africa and also those in East Africa as well. As I mentioned last slide, luxury focus, but we can cater to all budgets out there. Kind of the sweet spot for us is that four-star plus itinerary where you're getting great value for money and still having an amazing experience with properties that will kind of blow your expectations. Multi-destination trips, whether they be multi-destinations within one country or multi-destinations over multiple countries. We're finding that many of the trips we're doing these days do take in multiple countries. They're trips that are extended. You know, we've kind of gotten away from just a 7-night trip, for example, but 10, 14 and longer night trips to experience multi-destinations while they've made the effort to get over that distance. And then we also do a lot of beach and island add-ons. So in addition to the core safari destinations, I'll touch on later a little bit about some of the beach and ocean options that we have for that bush and beach, as they call it, you know, rounded trip. And then we tap into international, regional, domestic, and bush flights. So we handle everything A to Z, whatever you need from the land arrangements, all the way up to international flights as needed. And what are the unique selling points for Adventures Africa? Why partner with us? So just to recap, kind of decades of industry experience through the multiple companies that we have and the staff on hand. And we've got over a decade of experience curating unique trips to Africa. Knowledgeable and responsive staff with first-hand product knowledge. We really try and experience everything that we're selling over there, at least the country, the national parks, if not each of the different properties. But between the staff on this end, we've experienced a lot of what we're selling over there. We do work with outstanding supplier partners on the ground, just to reiterate that, whether it be Wilderness Safaris, whether it be Nomad in Tanzania, whether it be Lamala, Ethilia, Great Plains, some of those names many of you be familiar with, but they've become valuable partners of ours, and we know that we can rely on them to provide a top-notch experience on the ground over there. Comprehensive itineraries from A to Z. We can take care of everything your client needs on that itinerary over to Africa, from the international flight to the meet and greet, VIP meet and greet at the airport, to a hot air balloon safari, to a bush breakfast out in the plains in Serengeti. Whatever the needs are, we can kind of meet those. We have industry leading technology platform. So we'll look a little bit at kind of a UMAP itinerary later, but we do use the UMAP platform that allows us to share and co-brand itineraries with travel agency partners. And then that client is going to have a really detailed itinerary, step by step, where they need to be, what they need to be doing, confirmation numbers, and then UMAP also has an app, so they're going to be able to travel with that app and have full access to that itinerary while they're traveling throughout Africa. Preferred commission levels to our travel agency partners, very competitive pricing and value. As a small company, a small nimble company, we have negotiated great rates over there, but we don't have some of the huge markups that other larger players in the space have. So we feel that you're going to find our pricing is very competitive and presents great value for your clients as well. Inclusion of J.MAK amenities, of course, and any additional applicable consortium amenities that may be available. So touching a little bit on kind of an overview of the company, touching a little bit on the destinations that we do offer. So really kind of a focus, Southern Africa versus East Africa, and they are two different animals. Southern Africa is going to incorporate South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Namibia, the core countries there. A little bit of Malawi as well, but that's not a huge safari-focused destination yet, although it's up and coming. And then within East Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and I just threw on Zanzibar. Even though it's in Tanzania, it almost sells its own little country destination there as well. And really the differentiation between the two, South Africa, for example, is going to be more of your multi-activity trip, where that client may have 3 or 4 nights on safari, but then 3 or 4 nights in Cape Town, followed by a couple of nights up in Victoria Falls. That would be kind of a standard itinerary down there, or on the garden route heading into Cape Town from there. Whereas Tanzania, Kenya, it's more like that traditional overland safari in the truck, moving from point to point. In Tanzania, for example, from Tarangire to Ngorongoro Crater to the Serengeti on the northern circuit. And then East Africa, Uganda and Rwanda, you're tapping into the gorilla trekking, which is what those two countries are famous for. I'm going to just take us through a little bit of a look at each of these countries, just to give you a taste of what's on offer. So taking a look at the overall Africa safari map, just so you can get a handle of where each country is in relation to its neighbor or other safari destinations. So we can start here in the south and just take a quick look here. South Africa, right down south here, Cape Town all the way to the point down here, and Cape Point Peninsula right down here, southernmost point in Africa right there. Namibia on the northwest of South Africa, and Skeleton Coast up here, Etosha National Park, heading east into Botswana, then from there into Zimbabwe. So you can see how it pairs a South Africa combination with Zimbabwe and with Victoria Falls here, or a combination with Botswana. Super easy to coordinate that. Zambia sitting above Zimbabwe and Botswana here, all kind of focused on Victoria Falls in the center here, combining those three countries in what they call the Kaza area. Moving over the east, we're into Malawi from there, and then into to East Africa, Tanzania. In the south, large country, multiple different safari circuits, lots on offer in Tanzania. Rwanda, small country over here to the west, Kigali as the entry point there. Gorilla trekking in Volcanoes National Park there. Up into Uganda, north of Rwanda from there, more gorilla trekking, additional primates there, and also full safari circuit on offer there. And then east again into Kenya. So that kind of rounds out the countries that we focus on from a safari perspective. So let's take a look quickly at each one. So South Africa, primary areas here is one of Africa's greatest wildlife destinations. Everyone knows about Kruger National Park. Abundance of animals, easily seen. That's located right up here on the border with Mozambique. From there, and a standard first-time South Africa visitor is going to be a visit to Kruger, whether it be in the Kruger Park itself, or what we tend to use are the private reserves. And you'll hear that term, private reserve, private concessions, I mean, a few times here. And that refers to those areas that are privately run and privately owned in the greater Kruger area, but not within the Kruger National Park boundary. And what happens in Kruger National Park, you typically are allowed to day drive in there with your own vehicles. You can self-drive in there as well as the safari operations in there. Whereas these private concessions are all off-road, they're all privately run. Only the camps and vehicles associated with that camp can function within those private reserves. And in most cases, the fence has been dropped to the greater Kruger area. So the game doesn't know which reserve or park they're in, so they come and go freely. And many of those private concessions also have the rivers. So animals are drawn to water. So you're going to have a tremendous concentration of game within those private reserves. And those tend to be what we use in the Kruger area. We feel it's a better, more private, more exclusive safari experience with equally good, if not better, game viewing than in the Kruger Park itself. And then juxtaposed to the Kruger Park in the north east here, you've got Cape Town in the southwest, and that tends to be an awesome point for activities outside of safari. And with United flights, for example, now you can fly nonstop Newark to Cape Town. You can fly Newark to Johannesburg, Delta out of Atlanta as well. So it really allows you to create a nice triangle within that South Africa, even tapping into Victoria Falls, up here in the north. Outside of Cape Town, you've also got Cape Winelands. So any wine lovers, Kareem had mentioned the wine tour that he was inspired by for South Africa, to bring that to Morocco. So tapping into French Hoek, Stellenbosch, Paarl outside of Cape Town, Hermanus on the south here, you've got some amazing wine tasting and viewing opportunities. And the wine farms are spectacular value for us Americans heading over there. A couple of different images for South Africa. We've got kind of one of the Singita lodges. You can see the quality of lodge or camp that is an offer over there. The abundance of leopards in the Kruger area. This is a Table Bay Hotel outside of Table Mountain in Cape Town. So some really iconic wildlife viewing and fantastic lodging options in South Africa. Namibia, completely different. On the Atlantic coast here, you've got the Skeleton Coast, very harsh environment, desert habitat, and known for its desert adapted animals. And kind of Skeleton Coast, Etosha National Park, some of the highlights there. And just you can see the juxtaposition in scenery and wildlife within Namibia. Still super high quality accommodations there as well, whether it be a tented camp, whether it be a lodge. And then it's rugged coastline that you have access to from here as well. Botswana, probably home to some of the finest wilderness area in Africa. And one of the unique aspects of Botswana is the water safari, tapping into the Okavango Delta, tapping into the Chobe River, and getting in a traditional Makoro canoe or getting out on a motorboat for a sunset safari cruise. It's an amazing experience. Botswana's model has been one of high value or higher cost and low volume tourism. So they're really, you're not going to run into crowds in Botswana. You're going to pay more for that experience, but you're not going to have the crowds that you might have in the Masai Mara or the Serengeti. And you are going to have just world-class game viewing there as well. And the key areas here are going to be kind of Chobe National Park up on the border with Zambia and Zimbabwe here, known for its huge elephant herds, buffalo there, into the Okavango Delta, lots of private concessions within here as well. The Moreni Game Reserve, famous for big cats and all the interaction associated with them. Mon Airport here is kind of the gateway for the Botswana safari circuit. And typically within Botswana, you're not going to be doing overland driving. You're going to be flying from camp to camp in your safari itinerary and taking bush lights to get from location to location, and then game driving on the vehicles or boat safaring on the boats and canoes from that specific camp. You've also got kind of the salt pans down here for a completely different experience. The Central Kalahari, known for its black main lines. So just a real wealth of diversity within Botswana, again, tapping into all the water on offer. And here's a few kind of iconic images of Botswana. Elephants in the water, the wild dogs, known for its wild dog populations there as well. Big cats, beautiful lodges. This is Kwai Ledwood by African Bush Camps in the Kwai concession there. And then, we kind of focus on cultural interactions as well. So this is to go out and take a walk with the San Bushmen and, see how they are so in tune with the environment. Whether it's the San in Botswana or the Maasai in Samburu in Kenya and in Tanzania, really some cool experiences you can tap into as well. Probably best known for Victoria Falls, and we do a lot of Victoria Falls add-ons, one of the 7 wonders of the world. A couple of nights, 2-3 nights up there. You can experience the falls. You can actually get some soft safari up there. There's all kinds of adrenaline activities from bungee jumping to whitewater rafting on offer there as well. And in Zimbabwe, probably one of the more authentic safari options still in Africa. Renowned for the quality of the guiding there. The Zimpro license, guiding license is much in the gold standard. Whereas, in South Africa, you may not approach big animals on foot. Zimbabwe, absolutely. You want to approach lion, you want to approach elephant. Those guys are qualified and they're going to let you experience that. This may not be a first safari destination. That may be South Africa, that may be Tanzania or Kenya, but certainly someone that's experienced safari before and wants something a little bit different and maybe more adventurous. The game viewing here is amazing. Hwange National Park, Maniples, Lake Kariba, iconic areas here. And actually, I just returned from, in addition to all the custom itineraries that we do, we actually curate some small escorted trips as well. And I just came back from last month leading a small group of, actually, they're all women in their 70s, most of them first-time safaris goers. And we spent a couple nights in Livingstone, Zambia, then did Hwange, Lake Kariba, and Maniples, and just the experience was amazing. They were blown away by what was on offer, the camps, the guiding, and the quality of the wildlife viewing there as well. And here's some iconic images from Zimbabwe. This is kind of a really cool Victoria Falls River Lodge, the Treehouse Suites on a private island just off the shore of the main lodge, accessible only by boat. Wild dog again in Zimbabwe, the iconic Victoria Falls itself. You stay at someplace like Victoria Falls River Lodge, for example, and you're going to have your own guide there, just as you would in the Safari Lodge, and they're going to take you for a walking tour of the falls, and you can get right along the frontage here with 15 different viewing points to experience the falls there. Moving on to Zambia, really kind of an undiscovered safari gem. I was there, I think, last in November, and was blown away by the experience. You're going to be at a kind of a lower price point than some of the other areas because it is still undiscovered, but the quality of the wildlife viewing is amazing, and the abundance of game there now as well. Key areas here, Livingstone is really on the Zambia side of Victoria Falls down here, Victoria Falls being on the Zimbabwe side here. And then you've got kind of Kafue National Park, Lower Zambezi Park, and South Luangwa. And these areas, South Luangwa known as the Valley of the Leopard, Lower Zambezi known for its wild dog populations and the water experiences there. Kafui, in the north of Kafui here, you've got the Busanga Plains, which is really kind of a water environment, much like Botswana. So you're almost getting the Botswana experience at a significant lower price point there as well. And just as a matter of comparison, Kafui National Park is about the same size as Kruger National Park. Annually, Kruger will experience about 1.5 million visitors, where Kafui will experience about 10,000 visitors. So it's just dramatically less crowded and still a really pristine experience there. And here's some iconic images from Zambia. The Vic Falls aerial overview here. This is Tokalewa, right on the Zambezi River above the falls. Approaching elephants by canoe in the Zambezi River, and then Chisabasanga. This is actually your room, your lodge room, an elevated bird's nest inspired by the buffalo weaver nest in the trees. Then moving up to East Africa, Tanzania, we have all kinds of safari options on offer in Tanzania. The most popular, most likely, is the Northern Circuit, and that's going to incorporate the parks that Ngorongoro Crater, Serengeti National Park, and that area where the Great Migration occurs. Also, Mount Kilimanjaro. We do arrange trekking expeditions up Mount Kilimanjaro. Occasionally, we'll do an escorted one, and otherwise, we'll just set you up with guides on the ground over here. And can be fully customized based on the route you want, how long you have to do that, and what kind of safari you want to tap into following that. And then, one thing that a lot of people don't know so much about Tanzania is the Chimpanzees of Gombe stream, Mahali over here. So Jane Goodall did a lot of her research there. So you've got the ability to tap into great apes and experience them in the wild, habituated chimpanzee groups in Tanzania as well. And then Zanzibar Island, tapping into that bush and beach vacation. Zanzibar, an amazing place to visit. Stone Town with the history of the slave trade, the Spice Island, and then all the beaches around the Zanzibar Island itself. A lot of really upscale properties and resorts there too. Some images from Tanzania. We've got the wildebeest migration, Mount Kilimanjaro. One of the nomad camps down here, they call it a tented camp, but it's hard to kind of call this a tent given the quality and the luxuriousness of that experience. Juxtaposed to that, you've got the manor in Ngorongoro, where much more of kind of an old coffee plantation. So you've got a real range of accommodations you can pick and choose from, and we can kind of curate and include within those itineraries. And then the cultural interactions with, in this case, the Maasai, for example. Rwanda. Land of 1,000 hills, beautiful little country, known for its gorilla trekking. Kigali is going to be the entry point here. Volcanoes National Park in the Virunga Mountains is where the gorilla trekking is happening up here. And that really is the focus for Rwanda, sorry. They do have some safari in Agera National Park, but that's kind of developing. So really that focus in Rwanda is going to be your gorilla trekking. Some images here. Amazing silverback gorilla down here. This is the Singida Lodge for gorilla trekking in Virunga, and this is Bisati Lodge. Again, another one of those kind of bird's nest inspired properties. And some of the scenery here, you can just see how beautiful Rwanda is. And other primates. So in addition to gorillas, there are going to be golden monkeys. There are going to be other primates that you can experience there as well. Uganda, just to the north of Rwanda, sharing a border down here with Rwanda. So the gorilla experience in Uganda is in the same area as Rwanda and the DRC, the Democratic Republic of the Congo over here. So the gorilla trekking in Uganda is happening in Bwindi Impenetrable National Park, and then Mahinga Gorilla National Park down here. One thing that Uganda has is that many people don't quite realize is it has a full safari circuit outside of the gorilla trekking. So it's not just the primates that are a focus here. Queen Elizabeth National Park and the tree climbing lines, Kibale and the chimpanzee trekking there, Murchison Falls National Park. So there's a really solid safari circuit using Entebbe in the international airport here as a base right on Lake Victoria. And I did a kind of a full circuit here in November. and was blown away by the experience. From Entebbe, we saw the very rare cubital stork in the swamps down here. We went up to Murchison Falls from there, did the chimp trekking in Kibale, in through Queen Elizabeth National Park, ending up in Windy for the gorilla trekking. And it was a trip I won't soon forget. Some of the images from Uganda. Nile Safari Lodge here, right on the Nile River, just downstream from Murchison Falls. Windy Lodge here, our base at the time for the gorilla trekking we did in Windy National Park. Yeah, an amazing experience there. Kenya, wrapping things up in East Africa here, iconic safari destination. You can see the proximity to Uganda, proximity to Tanzania. It makes it really easy to have those combined multi-destination trips. Known for the Masai Mara, Amboseli, and the elephants, Tsavo, east and the west down here. Amboseli looking over to the backside of Kilimanjaro. That's where you get those iconic views with the Kilimanjaro in the background and the big tusker elephants in the foreground. And Nairobi, kind of in the middle here as your point of entry and exit. And also amazing beach experience in Kenya. So you can get down to Mombasa, Diani Beach, Watamu, those areas down here. A really cool beach add-on for a few days following your safari. And some images from Kenya, including beach time here. And this is Kichwatamba Camp over here in the Masai Mara. So big plains, big expansive views up in that area. And so we've kind of looked at a lot of destinations now. We've talked about kind of our focus is safari and you know what happens on safari. So some of you may not be that experienced with a safari experience. So what does a day look like? How does it work? So it'll vary a little bit based by country, but typically an early start up around maybe 5 in the morning, a cup of coffee, a little bit of a snack, and then you're doing AM and PM game drives. About 3 to 4 hours each, and that's kind of going to be when the wildlife is most active. So that's why you're out there that time of day. Then you're back to camp for brunch or lunch. A little bit of time in the afternoon to enjoy the spa, to just relax, read a book, catch up on some sleep. An abundance of amazing food. That's one thing that's gonna blow your clients away. It's just the quality of the food on offer over there. Then after a little downtime in the afternoon, you're out for a PM game drive again until dark. And with lots of unique experiences thrown in there. So from sundowners, which are cocktails or happy hour in the bush at a waterhole, to bush breakfasts, bush dinners, safari walks with a guide. Lots of different things that can be arranged and curated to enhance that safari day. And again, touching on those private concessions, they open up some options to you, such as the walking safaris, such as night drives, things that you can't necessarily do within the national parks themselves. Additional destinations that we do offer as well. This is kind of more along the lines of those beach and ocean destinations. Zanzibar, we touched on the Seychelles, Mauritius, the Maldives, a little further afield. Mozambique for an easy beach add-on from South Africa. Malawi as an up-and-coming safari destination, and actually Lake Malawi with a landlocked country there. Lake Malawi has a Lakoma Island and a place called Kayamawa, which is a beautiful beach resort in this freshwater lake. And sitting on the beach there, you would think you were in the Indian Ocean somewhere. It's an amazing experience and an easy add-on to a Zambia safari, for example. And then we're looking to tap more into Madagascar and offer some other itineraries and options along those lines as well. We touched a little bit on the UMAP itinerary. So this is kind of what your clients are going to receive once we've built that itinerary, once we've dialed everything in with you, once we've got the itinerary that they want. They're going to have access to this while they're traveling and in advance of travel. So a little bit customized. We can co-brand it with your information as a travel agent down here. Trip summary details. Flight information. Even if you've done the flights, we can still import that information, and everything is in one itinerary platform for them. Destination information that we pull in here as well, and day-by-day itinerary, the service items, road transfers, where do I go, contact numbers, what time's my pickup, accommodations, etc. So we flesh this out all for you in advance, and then get this in your hands prior to your clients traveling. And so yeah, so that's a pretty good, fast but comprehensive look at some of the destinations on offer. So what's the next step? Partnering with us. What is that? What do we bring to the table? So I think we touched on this a little bit at the start, but preferred commission structure, and we pay those commissions prior to your clients traveling. Fully customizable itineraries, whatever you're looking to do, whatever your client needs, whatever they want, we're going to be able to curate that for them. We touched on the co-branded itineraries that J.MAK allows us to send to you. Multi-destination specialists, our firsthand knowledge. We're happy to do a conference call. We do this quite often, a conference call with you and the client. So if you feel you need some support on the information and knowledge, we're happy to jump on that phone with you and your client and assist with any questions and pointing them in the right direction. International contract airfares, both coach and business class. So always ask about that if you need some help, particularly on the business class side. There can usually be some good savings on airfares there, and then obviously our J.MAK amenities. And that is my presentation. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, and we'll be happy to answer any questions coming out of this.
Thank you, Gary.
You're
That
welcome.
was an awesome dive into Africa and Kareem too. So raise your hand if you want to go to Africa, right? That was amazing. Yes, I am one of them. So we'll open it up real quick for any questions that folks might have. Feel free to type it in the Q&A. Like I said too, and I put that in the chat. Hopefully everyone can see it. We put the J.MAK email addresses in the chat feature, as well as the link to the J.MAK pages. So the great thing about our J.MAK email addresses, just as a reminder, is that it goes to everyone that needs to know about your booking. So for our DMCs, it goes to Gary, it goes to Kareem, and then also their team as well. So you are going to get the fastest and best answer quickly. So we do have a question. Ted is asking, how is Morocco for the LGBT plus traveler, family, and couples? ? Kareem? Need to unmute first, sorry.
Yeah.
There we go.
go. Yeah, sure. Morocco is definitely a very tolerant country, as you might know. And I would say, to be very frank, we do have LGBT travelers, but there is a kind of respect when they are in the streets, and there are some limitations, but there is absolutely a full respect towards all type of travelers, all type of clients, as much as I would say in Ramadan, you can even smoke or drink water in the streets while we are fasting, but no one will talk to you because there is a strong respect in that sense. For LGBT, I would say they are accepted as much as there is kind of respect when they are in between other clients. I hope I was clear on that.
Yeah, fair enough. And great question, Ted. Okay, our next question is, our summer school series recorded so that you can watch the replays? Where can I watch such great info? Thank you. So yes, absolutely. They are recorded sessions. We did our Ciao Bella series last week with some of our Italian partners. We're doing Beach Please, one of our favorites, beach destinations. That's going to be in July, and then throughout the rest of the summer. So they'll be posted on our YouTube channel. So you can go to YouTube and just search for J.MAK Hospitality, or feel free to email hi@jmak.com, and I can send you the link to our Dropbox, and you can watch those videos there too. So perfect. So I want to be respectful of everyone's time. So thank you so much for joining. We'll end the session here now. But again, always, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. Thank you so much for joining, Gary, Kareem. Awesome presentations. Can't wait to
Thank you.
visit
Thank you, Meg.
in Africa in
Thanks, Meg.
person, right?
Yes.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everyone,
everyone.
for joining.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Gary.
Bye, Kareem.
Bye.
Nice to meet you. Thanks.
Bye.